You know, sometimes there are movies that try to set a bar and that they try to do something new. And let's face it, there's a lot of cookie cutter things that go on in the film industry, especially when you get to the higher level of making movies. There's formulas that people will follow because they know for a fact certain things are going to make money. And it's very rare that we see a company take a risk on a concept that is so new for movies, not necessarily for an audience or the internet, but the idea of making something work for cinema. And that's what I truly believe that the Backrooms is, or rather just Backrooms. There is no the, but that'll be the way that I'll be referring to this movie, is the Backrooms, but I mean, it's just known as Backrooms. This film, in my opinion, is setting a new bar. It's doing something different. I don't think that it's the best film ever made. I'm not going to try to sell it in that kind of light. We have something here that has yet to be done on this big of a scale with this big of a budget, and done with the right mindset and with a lot of heart. And you can tell that the things that were done in this film and how it was approached and the way that they executed their plan with this was very fresh. So that's the first thing I want to say here, is that I think that Kane Parsons and his crew, James Wan included, everybody that was involved in this, from actors to key grips to the writers to the people that distributed this film, they all did a fantastic job. And I can't hide the fact that I want to praise this film. I was a big fan of Kane Pixels, his channel, for the backroom stuff that he did. I was never into the Attack on Titan stuff just because it was going into the fear that I have of Japanese anime, or rather just anime in general. It's that medium really freaks me out. But Kane did something really awesome with the Backrooms, and doing something that always shocked me, that it wasn't at this level of being in a theater for all of the world to see, you know, and to expose people to this concept that is so terrifying as it is, with liminal space and what the Backrooms are, even though we know nothing about them, which is what I think makes them terrifying. Regardless, getting to see what Kane did with his YouTube channel and how he was able to create his own lore and to also borrow from other things, you know, as far as maybe the creature design or the concept of just that there are many different levels to the Backrooms. As far as the movie is concerned, I didn't get everything that I wanted, but that's not a bad thing, because I think that we should get more. That's the only critique I really have of this film, and it really differs from what I've been seeing people talk about online since it's hit theaters, is that a lot of people are not happy with some of the decisions that were made. I'm the complete opposite. I am so excited to see what happens. I hope that we get a decent collection of films that are made from this movie, not to become slop, not to become, you know, the next Halloween or Friday the 13th or, you know, the Nightmare on Elm Street, you know, movies where like it's just a cash grab every time. I think that they could do a lot more to see this like truly become a phenomenon. Whether or not it's well received or not, this is going to make waves, and I think it's going to get people thinking. Let's talk about the actors. Is that we have, I'm going to butcher this, but Chiwetel and I believe it's Renata. Both of these two characters, these two actors, they head this film. They take us through this journey into the Backrooms, and I thought that they did fantastic. I think that there is a level of excellence here that was done to bring out the good acting out of these people, especially when you're working with a concept of big open space and, you know, the realization of how terrifying that is because of how it hits that weird part of your brain. Like, you know, when you see something almost kind of like Obsession, which I've not watched yet, but the Uncanny Valley scene that's gone viral, it does something to your brain. It's imprinted into your mind that you know that something is not right here. And what I liked about their performances was the fact that they didn't oversell anything. It was kind of this shock and awe, but in the same hand, it was also this apprehension and not really knowing why this place exists. Like, who made this? Like, why is this here? And it's all those emotions you can see in their eyes and in their face. And I think I personally think that it was done very, very well. I enjoyed their performances. I don't think that there was any lack of script writing here. I don't think that this was a bad decision of any casting whatsoever. In fact, I think everybody did a fantastic job, including those that were under makeup. I'll say just at least that, because I don't want to spoil anything. Everybody in this movie was a slam dunk for me. Even with Mark Duplass, which I hope I'm saying that correct, his role in the movie was actually kind of small. I wanted more from him, and I was extremely impressed with what he did with this. The other thing to mention here, and this is something that's been said online a lot since they've started producing the film, and more so when the pictures of the set was starting to come out. This set is massive. The way that they have shot this, there was no part of this that felt that it was made by humanity. Everything about the rooms that these people get to interact with are so weird. And it's something that, like, even when you know the creepypasta, and even when you've seen Kane Parsons' YouTube channel of the series of videos that he's done on the Backrooms, there were some creative things here that I didn't even know you could do. I do not understand how they were able to conceptualize some of these things, because it is so out there. Even with some of the Easter eggs that they threw into the film as well too, this was a nice way to have that thirst quenched, where it's like, okay, I know some of the stuff that is either in Backrooms lore, or I know that there are some things that I wish I could see or that we've never seen before. And while I didn't get everything, I got a lot. There was even a moment that Clark, one of the characters in the film, says, no, there's a yada, yada, yada. He talks about a specific thing that he found. And my first thought was, oh my God, are we going to get to see that? And we did, but we didn't. I'll get into it more when we get into spoilers. But regardless, as an overarching thing, Kane has done a wonderful thing with this film, him and the entire crew. I don't want to just focus on Kane, because it really takes a village to make a movie. Genuinely, I think that he needs to be recognized for his excellence in the way that he was able to bring this movie together. With Kane directing and Jeremy Cox being the cinematographer, I'm not sure what all Jeremy has done as far as all of his work, but what I can tell you is that he was working overtime on this. The depth, genuinely, this film really felt like The Shining on LSD. Because in my opinion, I think Kubrick was one of the first people to understand that liminal space, or a big open space, could be terrifying, especially using the Overlook Hotel. And this film does that. It does what I think that Kubrick wished that he could have done. And it just shows here. Practical sets that people were getting lost on when they were making the film because it was so massive. The way that they utilized CG, and it didn't even look like CG. Like, there were only a couple of spots that I think I really noticed some pixels, and even then it was so easy to dismiss them. The creature design in this film was very original, and it was actually kind of terrifying. It's not what you're going to expect. It's not what you're going to get from anything that you've seen in the Backrooms done online. I don't know, maybe there's some other things out there that exist that I haven't seen that maybe that Kane borrowed from, but I think this was actually very original, especially the reveal of when you finally get to see what's been living in the Backrooms and you understand, oh my God, this is the direction that we're going. If I could think of any negative things about this film, I mean, genuinely, it's the fact that I just wanted more. I could have been there for another hour. I've heard some people say that they felt that the movie was too long. It blew right by. I think that also comes from the place in my mind where I really love liminal space. Oh my God. I think the cookie dough bites are coming back to bite me. Bites are biting. That's good. And I don't know if I'm the only person that has this, but when I see liminal space ambience, or if I see, malls that are, abandoned, or, big open vast areas, like, I love the idea of exploring those. I don't like the idea of getting lost or being killed or, never making it home. But there's this desire I have in myself that I just want to walk around in the Backrooms. If I knew it was safe, I just want to see what is there. And I don't know, it's to me like I couldn't get enough. So for me, I wish the film was actually longer. The other side of this too is that while I didn't have a problem with this, I could probably see that maybe the general public will have a problem, is that it kind of does feel like the film just ends. There's no big grand finale, even though that feels improper to say, because it does ramp up. Like, this is a movie that does, you know, the pacing does, you know, there's a climax to this film. It does happen, but it kind of leaves it open-ended in certain aspects, and it makes you wonder, like, wait, what happened here? Like, what's really going on? And then the credits roll. Crystal and I did wait to the end of the credits to see if there was anything. There isn't. There's nothing that's there. We didn't know maybe if there would be some Easter eggs that would maybe lend to something else, or that something else could be happening. But I also don't think that every film needs to follow the Marvel formula. You don't have to do that. You know what I mean? But it's something that, you know, we've been trained to do, where it's like, nah, man, we're gonna hang out and see if there's anything that's waiting for us, or if there's any kind of like fun little tidbits. Regardless, we had a fantastic time with this movie. It's something that I think that we're going to be talking about a lot, you know, not just between her and I, but also I think that those that love scary films and want to see something new, because genuinely that's what Kane has done with this film. He has done a service to the film industry to say, look, I'm going to put my neck out there, not follow the normal thing. This is not a cookie cutter thing. This is something brand new, and not everybody is going to enjoy it, and that's fine. But I cannot say this enough, is that if you're curious about this film, if you're wanting to know like what the big deal is, or if you want to hopefully see more movies made like this, I encourage you, go to the theater and see this movie. Don't wait for it to come out on streaming. Go see it. The same way with like Project Hail Mary. That film stayed in theaters for quite a bit. And it's because, nah, man, like they wanted people to enjoy it, and they wanted to make sure that they could, you know, it sounds so corporate, but like make their money, because this is the only way that we're going to get good films made, is that if we support it, and if we go out there and say, you know what, I'm not going to wait for it. I'm going to go see it while the plate is hot. So the plate is hot right now. Make sure you guys go out and see it and make it happen. Now, we are going to shift into some spoilers, one thing in particular. So if you have not seen The Backrooms, if you do not want to have anything spoiled for you, I suggest that you get out of here and you come back after you've seen it. My final thoughts on it is that it's great. 4 out of 5 stars. I mean, it's a 4 out of 5 for me. This is a wonderful thing. You should definitely see it. So take that for what it is. We're going to go ahead and go into spoiler time. All right. Are we ready? We're good? If you're still here, you've seen the movie, or you don't care about spoilers. You've had plenty of warnings. Here we go. So when it comes to the entity that is in this film, and there's actually multiple, I think that there's 4 of them. I've been seeing people say that they didn't like it. I think people went into this thinking that they were going to get the bacterium, you know, the thing that was in the very first short film that Kane ever made. And I'm kind of glad that it didn't go that way, because the creature design that they did with this is the best way to explain it is that you have the furniture and, you know, the rooms that are made, that whatever is controlling the back rooms or how it's generating is essentially relying on the memory of what that thing is. So the entities are people, but they're not. They're deformed. They look terrifying. Like, one of them even had that weird optical illusion with like the multiple eyes going down, like in his collared button-up shirt. Like, he had the collar up here, but there was also a collar that was like to his left. That was on like his like left, like, you know, like breast pocket, like where that normal pocket should be. The design of them, it was so odd and uncanny and terrifying. And the main entity is of Carl, and it's a version of him in the pirate costume. He's a humongous, almost like 9 foot tall looking thing. And Robert, who's listed here on the cast, I can't even attempt to say his last name because I don't want to butcher it or be disrespectful, but he was actually the guy that played the human alien hybrid in Alien Romulus. And I can't think of any movie that has done an entity like this, is that there's humanity, but there's no humanity like at all. Like, it is so scary. Like, I'm getting goosebumps even right now thinking about it. Like, I've got a hallway that's right next to me right now, okay? Like, and the door's open, and it's like that idea of like, you know, like this thing has to like bend down to get through. It's kind of almost made me think of the Smile entity with how it would move and how it would do certain things, but that even doesn't do it a service because this entity is very much its own thing. And I get that people want what they have seen online. They want things that are more nightmarish, I guess you could say. But in my opinion, this was nightmare fuel. It was terrifying to look at. But I feel like people are probably going to dislike this movie because if you don't like the entity, then you're not going to like the film. Just like people that didn't like Bill Skarsgård's portrayal of Pennywise. If you don't like Pennywise, you're probably not going to like the movie. And if I can fight for the creative decisions here that was done for this, I think it was the right way to go about it because it was unexpected. And it also adds a different level to the Backrooms, not like an actual level that you're in, but like the concept of it is that not only is reality being distorted from the furniture we sit in, the rooms that we interact with and that we are used to, but people are being distorted and copied and remembered in a very abstract, terrifying way. And that to me is actually the best way to go about it. If anything, it really makes me think of one of the more recent short films that Kane put out on his channel where it looked like almost a contortionist person was running after him. And now we have an explanation for that, assuming that that's what that meant. And I don't know, I don't get the hate. I don't get why people aren't into it, but I'm loving it. I'm loving what they did with this. I think it was great. I thought that it was really good to see how they handled violence because there was really only like one really graphic scene and the rest of it was done kind of in your mind in a way, with like small flashes of different things. Like thinking of the entity dragging Carl's body after it's been, gnawed on by it because he starts like biting into his shoulder. That's something that's not going to leave my mind. I'm going to think about that. Like I might dream about it. Okay. Like this film has hit a different level that I was not expecting, and I'm really digging it. So with that being said, the long way around the barn, the entity design, I don't think that it takes away from the film. I think it makes it better. I think that there are more opportunities for Kane to be able to take this idea and go, okay, what's next for us? Okay, like, well, maybe there's entities of animals. Could you imagine if there were cryptids in the Backrooms? Like, think about the scary things that's in indigenous culture. And then how would the Backrooms think of that? How would it copy it and try to use a memory of that? There's so much room to play. They've got a sandbox and they can make whatever castle they want. And I'm hoping that we get a sequel. And if I had to think of what the sequel should be, I think that they should do the pool rooms. Not because I have thalassophobia and I would be terrified to see what they would do, even though I'd still go see it. But man, like if they do a sequel, that's the area I think that they should go to next, is that it's just straight up just the pool rooms. We've already gotten the back rooms as far as the hallways and everything. So hopefully we can see another film that is specifically about another level, and I hope it's the pool rooms. I mean, we'll see what happens. All that being said, if you guys have stuck around in this video and listened to me yap about this movie, thank you very much for being here. I know this is a very different video, compared to the reaction videos, because I've been doing book reviews as well too. But if you guys want to see more movie reviews like this, let me know and I'll make them happen. Regardless, guys, thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this, make sure you leave a comment, let me know, hit like, and also subscribe and hit that notification bell. That way you never miss an upload, and I will see you guys next time. Go see this movie, make it happen, go to the theater. I can guarantee you that you're gonna have a great time. All right, everybody, adios.